Hello, it's Jon Binnie here. Happy Saturday, the 27th of July. So that is 277, which is fantastic. And today I'm going to be going through your questions and answers. I'm your spiritual psychic mentor here in Scotland, and I'm delighted to take you through a whole range of different practices to help us understand a bit more about what's going on in our lives, our planet, our solar system, our galaxy, our universe, across everything physical and metaphysical. Okay, so let's create a safe space. Now, I want to get through as many questions as I can today, so we're going to keep the verbal instructions to keep them optimized and minimum. So let's just go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose and breathe out what no longer serves your highest good, nice and loud. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any remaining low vibration energy or emotion, nice and loud. Just shake out that energy out of your hands and feet and base of your spine and into the earth to be transmuted by Mother Gaia. And then from the center of your heart, extend a cord of light up to the highest dimension of Source, and there connecting your light cord into Source. Remain connected to the source of love and bring your focus back down to your heart. And from your heart now, through the root of your spine and deep into the earth, all the way down until you connect into the core, the heart of Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. And from the center of Gaia's heart, up through the root of your spine into your heart once more. Now expand out your golden bubble of protective light together with Source and Gaia, about 2 meters out to each side, above and below, in front and behind, and set the intention that only energies and entities with your permission, your highest good, love, and compassion can see you, access you, or exist within this space or within you. All other energies and entities must leave immediately. Invite in your spirit guides, your higher self, your ancestors, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, Source, and Gaia. We ask at this time for their guidance, clearing, healing, protection, and assistance with accessing the Akashic Records and the integration of today's messages. And I'll create a safe space around all of us just now silently. So please take a deep breath through the nose as I do this. Inviting in our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia. Okay, and we're here to answer your questions. The first question, so I'm going to be am randomly picking these as we go. The first one is from Rosemary C, and it says, how can I overcome my negative reaction of self-hatred coming out when I consume chocolate or tea, which contain theobrine and theophylline? Or am I possessed? ? Okay, so I'm just going to ask my higher self and also my earth elemental guide, Maya, about this question. If they can help answer, please. So, okay. My guide, Maya, she says, you can consume anything and inject your own self-hatred when you eat it. There's something about the vibrational match of the thing you consume and the self-hatred that you generate. So and I feel you get this yourself, your reaction, you're creating the self-negativity. So the first thing is to and this is her suggestion, is to choose a time of when you want to consume this and make a ceremony out of it. So what you're doing is you want to decouple, and I love this idea so much, decouple, separate and break apart the negativity with the substance. So in this case, and I don't know if this will work for everyone, I don't know if this works for all substances, but for you, Rosemary C., the suggestion is create a self-care practice of where you consume this. So for instance, with chocolate, you might put in your calendar, your personal calendar, written one, or even just say to yourself, you know what, at 4 p.m. today, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to have a cup of coffee or tea and some chocolate, and I'm going to celebrate it. And just before you eat it, say to yourself, I love myself, I love your body, and I'm excited to consume this. And do it as, hold your hand on your heart and do it with as much energy and excitement as you can. And after you've eaten it, spend a little bit of time, perhaps go and look in the mirror and say to yourself, thank you, body. I really enjoyed that treat. It was really lovely. Thank you. And when you're placing your hands on your heart and your right hand onto your solar plexus, onto your stomach and digestive system, when we rub our tummies, I used to do that a lot when I was a kid, rubbing your tummy, saying, I'm excited to digest this. Thank you. And you can also leave that window of, this isn't a bypassing practice, right? This is really to help decouple the negative feelings. Then say afterwards, body, let me know if there's any challenges with digesting this, because I can feel that just now in a reflection in my stomach. And just say, okay, body, I'm always looking to improve what I consume. And so let me know if there's anything that, that any reactions I have, and I can consider that for the next thing I consume. And then start to, for instance, with chocolate, you could start to explore different chocolates, chocolate brands. I personally find I can consume quite a lot of vegan chocolate, and it's not the nicest, right? And I'm not vegan. But what I do enjoy is that, it's really close. And I also find I can help separate some of this. It's really rare I eat chocolate now, and I eat it very small amounts if I do, but this is just me. So this is the idea. I haven't scanned you, Rosemary C., or taken a look to see if you're possessed, but my feeling is that that's a much lighter possibility, that it's, or should I say unlikely. So I hope that helps you. Thank you, Rosemary C. So let's take a look at the next question. So just going to randomly select one. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay. And you have told me your real name in comments, but I've asked for your YouTube username, and I think you've given me your email. I'll not read out the whole email, but your YouTube username, I'm guessing what you've entered, not the full email, is SuZCR. And you've said, I would love some advice on how I can be of service. I have an odd fascination, not in a sick way, with death and the dying process. And I was thinking to assist a hospice. I don't know where to from here. I just don't know where to from here. Does Spirit or Gaia have any guidance for the next steps? I feel so selfish asking a question purely for myself. I hope it's okay. Thanks so much. I'm loving your channel. Well, thank you so much. Yes, the best place for these sorts of questions are in the live streams that I do, or in a one-to-one session. So a live stream Mondays and Thursdays typically, not this coming Monday, but almost every Monday and Thursday. So just take a look at the live page on my YouTube for that, and make sure you hit the notification, and you can say notify me and get the notification bell and all those good things. So you can post your request there, or just visit jonbinnie.com, click on the booking link and book a one-to-one session. A one-to-one session will be able to give you a lot more detail. My initial sense is that you should find a hospice and go and start volunteering. Because I say this because when I worked at a hospice, St. Columba's in Edinburgh, for a period of time doing hands-on reflexology, foot massage, it was an incredible experience. Even visiting the place energetically was just incredible. And my spirit guide Maya is saying for you that there's something about the death process that you'll be able to assist with. So you've said that. You've said the dying process. And my gut feeling is that it's related to the guidance, like guiding people as they leave the body. But that's one of the key stages of what services, hospices often offer. But it's far more than that, right? It's so much more about the life than it is about the death and life of the people, the relatives. So I hope that helps you. Thank you so much. Let's choose the next question. Beep. Hang on. I'm so reluctant to use a mouse. I just use my touchpad, which is a bit tricky. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay, so here we have Holly Jensen 2371. Hi, John. Hi, Holly. Periodically over many years, I have been feeling waves of energy that sometimes feel ominous rolling through my area, sometimes related to wind or clouds. Sometimes these areas are more fixed to the ground. They're quite transient. It often comes with a sense that there's something big about to happen. This has been happening more frequently than in the past, but for the most part, just passes by with no obvious negative results. Is it just Gaia purging energy? I usually stop and connect with spirit at these times. Thank you always for your insight and time. You are appreciated. Thank you, Holly. So I'm just going to ask my spirit guide Maya and also Gaia to help answer. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm just being shown, I did feel intuitively that it was related to, that it is the energy passing through ley lines in your area. So there's a good, meditation practice you can do. You're going out, or should I say a mindfulness practice. When you walk outside, Holly, do scan your area for the ley lines of the area. Ask to connect with the ground as you're walking. Feel the energy beneath your feet in particular, but ley lines can also flow above ground. Feel into the direction, where are these underground, I find it easiest to initially imagine them as underground water flow. But the more I connect to that, you'll start to feel the energy direction. They're running in one direction predominantly, or two directions often. They run north to south, east or west, or every variation thereof. And what does the energy feel like? Is it happy, or is it low and heavy? You already sense some of this. And lightly, you're reconnecting with a gift that you already have. What Gaia showed me is there's these, what you really feel is these big pulses of energy. And Gaia was saying, yes, I'm going through an active period, especially as we go through into August and through the Lion's Gate. Know that there's significant energy being shifted through all of our areas, and what I saw for your area, Holly, was these big bursting kind of experiences. Almost, when a snake swallows a big rat or something, and it kind of makes its way a bit. It looked a bit like that. This like cartoon kind of bulbous aspect of energy shifting through the ley lines. So that's fantastic. Moving energy is fantastic. And especially this transient aspect of it coming in and out. So definitely a purge. So well done. Keep up your practice. I do teach how to do this in my Higher Self Intermediate Training course. So if you're interested in a foundational course that comes first, that is in October. You can just sign up on my website for that. Okay, thank you very much. Let's choose the next one. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay, Manon. Thank you so much. You've said, hi, John. Can you and your co-guide see how one of my rescue dogs got lost in the woods here in Portugal? Did it end her life, or did someone pass her path in a good way or bad way? She's called Borboleta, butterfly, Borboleta. In Dutch, it's Vlinder. Thank you so much. And then you have some emojis, including a little horse emoji. Thank you. Okay, so really, that's sad to hear about your rescue dog. And when I glanced at this, I did get an initial read. Let's just ask Gaia and her elementals of the area. Okay. Um, so I saw that Borboleta had gone into the woods on what can only describe as there's a feeling of a quest. You know, there was purpose, and that she walked for many miles. It's not a feeling of desperation. It's a feeling uh, of really very peaceful and harmony, and that eventually she laid down to rest. Um, I'm shown, so there's some trees and then a rocky outcrop, and then below the rocky outcrop is where she laid to rest, and um, that's that's where she rested to end her life. She didn't fall down the rocks, and it's very very peaceful. There was just this feeling of, it reminds me of movies or stories where people say, you know, I'm going to the mountain to rest, or I'm going to, in this case, the woodlands to rest and to leave her body. And I love that her name is Butterfly. That's so beautiful. It's very hard to share this without getting really connected with the energy and her energy. And it feels that, you know, she wants you to know that she left her body peacefully, and that it's what she wanted. Um, I don't feel that she was particularly old, or that, you know, that you would necessarily expect her and her behavior to do this, but it was a very uh, loving end. Is what she wanted, a very peaceful end. I hope that helps, and yeah, sorry for your loss. You know, regardless of being a rescue dog, or perhaps especially being a rescue dog, you know, I always feel that our pets and animals are our family, and should be, you know, mourned as such. So thank you so much, and also sending love to everyone, you know, affected, and everyone that hears this affected. Okay, choosing the next one. Beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop beep. Okay. When I'm going beep bop and closing my eyes, I just scroll up and down, and it's fascinating because as I'm doing it, the energy becomes like grips. It's like gripping my fingers and pulling me to a specific item, even though I can't see it. Okay, so this next one is Maggie KA, and you said, "Hi, I live in Italy. I want to return home in September. Is it going to be possible? Should I go earlier? Thank you." Okay, so this is not a question for everyone, right? This is just for Maggie KA. I was shown for you towards the end, in the last 2 weeks of September is a good time to return home. I don't know. I don't know if where you live, but it's sorry. You've said where you live in Italy. What I mean is, you haven't said where your home is. I just saw that it's towards the second half. So any time in the second half of September is good. There's not a specific reason why. Just I was shown that the closer towards any time in this. So to be clear, any time in the second half of September is good, and the feeling is the good feeling, the happy feeling is gets stronger the closer to the end of September, and or that also this feeling that happy feeling ends, you know, at the end of September into August, into October. So second half of September, please do return home. Thank you, Maggie KA. Okay, next question. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Cheryl, did our planet Earth and Mother Gaia travel from the Sirius star system? I feel like I've answered this, to a current position in the galaxy and take part in an experiment. What is the purpose of this experiment? Okay, what I saw was Mother Gaia was prepared and born initially outside of the, or should I say, Earth was prepared and born outside of our solar system, because our solar system was just still forming. However, the soul, and I witnessed this myself. I have witnessed in a past life the birthing of Mother Gaia a long time ago. I, as a soul, also helped with the birthing of our son, and that's all part of my my soul journey. There are public videos about those experiences when I did a quantum hypnosis healing session with Shane from Unbiased on the Fence. So you could just Google that, and you would, or search on YouTube, you would find that video of me crying away at how beautiful it was to witness. So I do have personal experience of seeing the birthing of Mother Gaia. Mother Gaia, though, the question of experiments is really fascinating. So Mother Gaia is part of we're all part of our own individual experiments, because we're all parts of a unique experiment of Source. Each of us are our own unique experiment of Source, experiencing its own unique way. Mother Gaia is the experiment of all possible frequency ranges that can be held on a single planet, going through an ascension process. So it's broad, taking a broad frequency from, the low vibration humans, and for all our dark, evil deeds towards each other, to the highest vibration, happy, joyful vibrations, all held in the same dimension and same frequency range, going through an ascension journey together. And with that, we're leading by example, is one way of describing this. Leading by example in the universe, to say, planets don't just need to be small frequency ranges, a little bit of joy, a little bit of sadness, ascending. We can be broad. Can we bring greater levels of harmony across all darkness and light, and go through frequency, go through broad frequency ranges, and hosted in the same planet, and that planet go through ascensions, and the beings go through ascensions together. So that's a big part of what Gaia is going through. So thank you, Cheryl. I feel, as I was describing all that very briefly, I feel like I need tons of diagrams and week-long training courses just to explain it. But that's it in a nutshell. So thank you for your question. Okay, let's do the next one. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay, this next one is from, it is, your username is Wenchery? Is it? No, I can't. I'm not sure I can say this. Wenchiguriton 941, which is WENCHEGRYTTEN 941. And you say, thank you so much for sharing your energy, healing guides, and the consoles with us. You make a huge difference to us all. Thank you. I have been told by a wonderful lady that I'm a starseed from the Pleiadians, and for some reason I created a piece of its own in my heart. But on the other hand, I now unrest in my body. I am an extreme introvert, isolated, struggling with trauma and PSD, feeling stuck and frozen. I meditate every day, fantastic, and I hopes for guidance from my guides and helpers to get me in this past life, in my life, to a higher level with joy, security, peace, and tranquility, and a healthier everyday life. And to be able to trust people again. How do I communicate this to my spirit guides and helpers and my brothers and sisters in the Pleiades? The Pleiadians, I can't even say it. Thank you for being you. Love from a neighbor to the north. Ooh, a neighbor to the north. How exciting. Okay, so I'd love to answer this question more broadly, because so to ask this question to my spirit guides, Gaia, if she wants to add as well, and also the Federation, the Galactic Federation as well. Let's ask. Okay, so I have a Palladian from the Galactic Federation stepping forwards. Let's just see if they'll give me a name. It's a tall female. Turasku. Thank you, Turasku. And she says, us Palladians are a special breed. So she's very proud of being a Palladian and that you are a Palladian starseed. And she says there are many with Palladian ancestry in their soul ancestry. And she's also saying, I have this also. That adds to a long list for me. So thank you, Tarasco. And she's inviting you to get comfortable and used to the vibration of Earth. You are a child of Earth in this lifetime. Your body, your body. I don't know why I did that. It's like this beating on our chest. This physical part of us is very much part of the Earth. So you're being invited to come into this body fully. And she says, I know it's hard. I know it's really, really hard. And she says, you're so brave coming here. Please, she says, create strong boundaries. So in your daily meditation, if you're not already, please do engage with my 14-day spirit guide meditations, because she's showing that they're free. The creation, these protective bubbles, this is what you miss. So start with the creating the safe space, these big bubbles around you. And then get comfortable each day with being a little bit uncomfortable. So with a big open heart, see if you can task yourself each day with something that is human to do. So I, for example, today phoned a hotel 3 times. I'm taking my wife there for a treat. And I had to phone the spa place twice to confirm details, and had to phone the reception twice to confirm details, and the restaurant to book a. We're only going for one night. I had to make all these phone calls, and they often fill me with dread. You know, you might think, oh, John's on video all the time and he's great with the phone. I have phone, and I'm overcoming. Words have magic, John, so being careful. Overcoming these, and it's every time I level up in my vibration, I'm more challenged I'm challenging myself to do more human things, because the two have to go hand in hand. If I don't because this happened to me in the summer of 2023 when I went through a kind of form of psychosis or spiritual psychosis. I was like pushing too hard and became so ungrounded. If I was super ungrounded, I would literally just want to pick up the phone and speak in light language to someone, and they'd probably just hang up on me, right? And be quite offended by it. They'd be like, what? Who are you? So just finding little things, they're little things, right? Smiling at a stranger, going to a shop just to be in the energy of the shopkeeper and to say hello and smile. They're small things that make a huge difference. And I feel that energy in you, this hermit mode. I'm constantly coming out of that. And that's also why you see me going out to travel and meet people and saying hello to people and getting comfortable vlogging around people. So these are great ways. But do keep up that sovereign protective bubble each day, and then practice having a nice big open heart. And you asked about communicating with this guide and getting in more helpers. You'll practice that in my 14-day spirit guide meditations. So they're linked it's on the homepage of my website, jonbinnie.com, and I go on and on about it. So it's always in the description of my videos, etc. So I hope that helps you. And anyone else from any star system. And also a big thanks to Torasco, let me just ask, are you one of their spirit guides? Yes. Oh, okay. And they're going to help you with these specific challenges of integrating with humanity. Let's face it, we all need that. What a great superpower to have. Okay, choose the next question. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Oh, I've already done one for this person, so just one per person, please. Thank you. Until you hear me complete it on a video. Okay, the next one. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay. This is from Deborah T. Tsavosis 4424. You guys must just laugh at me trying to pronounce different names. I'm so bad. So my apologies. You would think maybe I'll get better. Maybe I'll just be positive, John. I'm going to get better. So you're saying, thank you for all you do to help. You've said, I live in New Zealand and I was wondering what is ahead for us in the next few months from Mother Gaia as we are part of the Ring of Fire. Now that's true, you are. You guys are helping remind me of what all these things, these terms are, and geography I'm paying much more attention to. So let me ask Gaia. Now, I'm also going to, you've not seen me do this before, if you're new to the channel. So I'm going to open the Akashic Records for New Zealand. And so the Akashic Records are a record of everything, past, present, parallel, future. And you can search it a bit like a popular search engine. You can search it and ask questions of it. So let me ask that. And you've asked for the next few months. So let me just ask for the next 3 months up to the 27th of October, please. So asking Gaia, and also open the Akashic Records, open the Akashic Records, open the Akashic Records. Archangel Metatron, please assist with me answering this question for New Zealand. Okay. So first of all, the message really clearly from Archangel Metatron showing me, he's brought to me, I'm used to him bringing me books. He'll bring me a book of someone's future life. It'll have a title and open it up. His hands, I just see his hands coming out like this. And then he has this picture on top and it's moving. This is a picture. And he's showing me that the different aspects, I don't know. Actually, I had a map open and it's not that far off New Zealand. There's this, the different islands of New Zealand. I was shown that how to describe it, as there is activity happening inevitably over that area and over the Ring of Fire. Now we've heard August in particular is going to be a more turbulent time, and I know there's already some turbulence. What I saw for the islands is that the North and South Islands, they must have names, right? But there's these two parts. The visual I was shown was that these islands are sat on their own little, how to describe it, safe plates. And so, can you see this with my hands? And so when there's energy flowing under, well, this is what happens for seismic activity, is these islands are almost like floating plates on top of, or little boats on top of these massive geological shifts underneath. I'm sure if you ask a geophysicist, they wouldn't agree. I'm sure that if you looked at the history of New Zealand and the seismic activity, that this is a different answer than we're used to, because none of what I've just said logically makes sense to me other than Gaia's message. So Gaia is saying, and thank you, Archangel Metatron, of course I believe you, it's just a lot to take on. So the message from Mother Gaia is, it's part of her making sure that she is protecting as many people as possible and beings. So I know we're the human race, we're like, what about the humans? But she's also saying, well, and the wildlife, and such a rich and abundant country, land and islands. So that feels good. It feels protective. Of course, there's stormy seas, literally, to ride, but that you will ride them as safely as reasonably possible. So I hope that helps you, Deborah. Thank you so much. Let's drink a little bit of water. Okay, next question. I love doing these, by the way. I know I've posted a lot of videos today, but it's just so much fun. Okay. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Jules 247. Will the Yulin Meat Festival in China be stopped? Thank you. Okay, so let me ask about this. So I'm being shown, this is really fascinating, and this is some truths. So you might have heard me releasing my throat chakra, releasing and belching a little bit under my breath. This applies to me, right? It applies to all of us that have eaten any kind of meat in our lives. The message is, first of all, to the answer the question, will the festival be stopped? No. And then secondly, the question, and there was an additional word that I'm not reading out because I'm just being sensitive to all of us around the world, and including meat eaters all around the world, regardless of which country and regardless of what festivals you have. What is fascinating is we're going to begin to get more of an understanding of karma and how karma works with killing other beings and consuming them. And that there are, how would I describe it? Guy is making me aware of, and it's not just her responsibility. This is a universal law, if you like, is that Guy's way of describing it is that the lower the conscious awareness we have when we consume or kill and consume another being, the greater the karmic cost to us individually. So this is regardless of whether you slaughtered the animal, fish, bird, insect, whatever it is, or not. And so this is why she says that many of our indigenous people from around the world, that often they go through great rituals in connecting with the spirit, the soul of the beings that they consume, because they create this wonderful, deep, conscious connection. And it's so powerful. It helps with, if it's fishing, for example, it helps maintain and cultivate fish stocks, the levels, the numbers of fish. Same with, sheep, goats, cows, and the list goes on, right? So I feel that's really powerful message. This is not an answer. It's more a gate to open up to say, let's start thinking more consciously about what we consume. And then we all get to decide, of course, what we consume. There's no wrong or right in this universe. That's the whole point, right? There's not a list of all the wrongs and all the rights in the universe. It's up to each of us to discern for ourselves. And that's the journey we are all on. So thank you so much for that. Okay, next question. Just beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, beep. Okay, this is from Soberian Shanter 9012. Thank you for your question. I would like to know how to speak with trees. Yes. To be in harmony with nature and animals, including the wild ones in their forest. I would like to know how to detect energy of places in order to help the inhabitants of these places live better there. I would like to know how to capture the energy of sacred places, the energy of people in order to help them through magnetism. Will I achieve one of these goals in my present life? Okay, short answer is you can, Jon Binnie's answer is start with my free 14-day spirit guide meditation challenge. If you like that and it resonates with you, sign yourself up for my higher self foundational training, and we'll cover a lot of these to begin with, but it all starts with you. So the foundation's all about you building your practices. We do go on and do introductions with our spirit guides, teach you how to fish for yourself, how to, not literally fishing, but you know what I mean, to build your own wells and build all your, basic foundations so that you can go on and do energy healing, clearing, protection, reading, light language, astral travel. There's a long list of stuff. And so then you can go into after that, the intermediate training, and that does all those things that you've been describing. You can achieve these things in your life. And let me just see if one of my guides would like to add a little bit more. Out of all these, it's the trees, and it's good that you came up with these things first, the trees and the forests that are most powerful. And why not practice what you see me doing? I did last week, for example, some videos of me talking to trees. I was doing it last night, talking to some trees at night. Practice this. There's no perfect way of talking to trees, but treat them as conscious beings. Ask them permission, place your hand on them, ask messages, send and receive, and practice. Get a favorite tree. Plant a tree if you need to. I hope that helps you. Thank you so much for your question. Okay, next question. Let's choose. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep. Okay, Sherry. This is good. I haven't read it all yet, but it sounds exciting. So Sherry says, I don't know why I've got my hands in my pockets. That's funny. Will our bodies heal organically and substantially with the increase of light codes and our collaboration with them? In brackets, allowance/release of old patterns, breath work, movement, diet, lifestyle, etc. Is there a timeline to this? I want to do so much more, but my mobility is an issue currently. In gratitude, Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. This is really exciting, right? And there's so many dimensions to this. So let me ask. I ask my higher self, and also my mantis guide, my galactic mantis guide, Marita. So I'm just being shown some of the ingestion of light codes. So, and this is really lovely. So my mantis guide, Marita, and she wants to share a little bit of light language, which is really lovely. I love her light language. So we'll do a little bit of that in a moment. She's showing me the ingestion of light codes. So they're coming down so this is an open, a question and an answer out for all of us, which is our light codes come in through the upper chakras. So they're coming in through the higher vibration, crown, third eye in particular, and then making their way, if they can, down to the throat and into the heart. And they continue on across the body. And so there's the foundations we need are happy, healthy body, consciously consuming food, drink, water, relationships, connections with other people, content on your phone, TV, whatever is coming into your body. So happy, healthy, clear. Yes, breath work and movement are important, but it's the energy that is the most important movement. So all these things are energy, right? So it's because it's easy for us to think, as you were describing this, I had this funny idea, like, I don't do much breath work. I do breathing sometimes, but not much breath work. And imagine if let's pretend there's a universe where you had to do, Jon Binnie's breathwork class before you could ascend. and that all, I'd be very busy, right? That all humans had to go through that one class before you could ascend, but it's not true, right? There's no such single class. It's, in fact, we're all empowered to just do all this work ourselves. But what helps massively is having someone to guide you through it, especially if they're on their own individual unique journey, have experienced a lot of these things and overcome them. And so, yeah, a lot of this releasing stuck energy, releasing old patterns is a huge part of this facing your shadows. There's not a timeline, right? There's no timeline for ascension. You don't have to do it by a certain date. There is a timeline for the third and fifth dimensional Earth splitting. And I don't think I've spoken about this too much. So if you're new to this concept, welcome to another concept to explain. But right now, I see Earth as third dimension, and then a higher frequency fourth dimension, and then stacked up on top of that, a higher frequency fifth dimension. And what happens is that over time, the distance and frequency between them pulls apart so far that eventually they break. And so they become a third dimensional Earth and a fifth dimensional Earth, and they're separate. And they're much more difficult to get between them. But good news, the good news is there are, and I've met them, right? And there's many souls, and lightly I have been and will be doing this as well myself, is going between the worlds, going between third and fifth dimensions in particular, and helping people. Those that, first of all, you have to choose that you want to be in a specific dimension. And then secondly, you need to do the work, right? And maybe that's what's already happened to us. Maybe we're all in the third dimension right now, and our spirit guides are the fifth dimensional ones asking, do you want to come? Yeah, I do. And then they're saying, okay, here's today's recommendations for your unique individual journey at your own pace for you. So good news, no soul left behind. No souls will be denied. You just need to say, yes, that's what you want to do. And then you need to do the work, right? Do your work. Get started with my 14-day Spirit Guide Meditation Challenge. Join the Higher Self Foundational Training in October. Just visit the training page on my website. These are all helpful. Other practitioners, I'm sure, are available to help you in the world. Okay, next. Let's take a look. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay, we have Ricky Bo Ranch. Hello, Ricky Bo Ranch. Is your message from Source on Friday, the 25th of July? In your message from Source on Friday, the 25th July, it was mentioned to face our fears and lies to ourselves and to heal and release. What's the quickest and most complete way to do this? Okay, the quickest and most complete way. Right. And I don't feel they're mutually exclusive. So the first thing is, I would say, so let's answer the quickest part. That is, find the one thing that you're most scared of right now. It has to be the thing you're most scared of, right? And so until May 31st last year, the thing I was most scared of was leaving my corporate job. And when I left, after that, I was most scared of not making a viable business, which by November, it already felt viable earlier, but by November, absolutely was even more viable than I realized. And then after that, something like, stability, also I was working with a, huge demand of you all booking me. And that's all. I've got my work-life balance so much better now. So I can do long videos like this. I have tons of time today. I've got the rest of the day to do nothing. And then 2 days off as well, which is great. So you'll see what you see of videos from me is just the snippets of my work in between a lot of leisure. So face those fears. Find out what it is you're most scared of. Ask yourself, write down the question, what am I most scared of right now? And then write it down. And then the quickest way of doing it is ideally some sort of meditation practice, give yourself some space and time. And then I would do this practice. So the Ho'oponopono prayer is what it's based on. And first of all, with that fear, I write it down. I say, the thing I am most scared of is, and I describe it in a couple of sentences. So it might be, for me, it used to be, for leaving my corporate job. And then you could even ask yourself 5 whys, right? But why? Well, because I'm worried that I'll have no sense of identity. Or why are you worried about that? Well, I'm even more worried about not having enough money to pay for my loved ones because I'm the primary wage earner. And then, okay, but what are you really scared of after that? I'm scared of, people laughing at me when I say I'm psychic. And you have all these whys, and what you're really doing is shining a light. So your heart, that shadow, that fear wants to see light. It's like, help! It's hiding in your heart. It's like, hello, is there anyone there in this dark void? So that is the hugest part, right? And it's often the hardest part for us, is the identification of the shadow. Then you say to yourself, okay, I see you, and I'm sorry, I apologize for you having to exist, that this fear exists. I thank you for the lessons. What is the greatest lesson I can learn from this? Now, maybe you've already got a feeling for this and the answers to the whys. And then you take that and you say, thank you, I love you, I release you. What action can I take to now face this fear? And you might find it scary, and it's okay to be scared. It's okay, right? It's okay to be scared of it. I was scared. When you look at the action, when you feel into the action you're going to take for that fear, you can start with small things. For me, it was, first of all, telling my wife, coming up on a couple of years ago, that I was burning out, that I needed to stop, that I needed to leave that job, right? That was a huge step for me. And just take it one step at a time. If you can't do the whole thing at once, if you're not just going to go in and hand in your resignation and then hope for the best, which is one approach, and it's a great way of facing the fear, this is what happens. So that's the answer of the quickest way, is that you face the fear and it's done, right? You're like, I was scared of that thing and I'm done. And you can build up the courage each day. You can even spend 10 minutes. Sometimes I've done things like created a little notepad document on my phone or a computer and just typed out, some potential things I would do. And I might just invest 5 or 10 minutes. Instead of anxious, worrying about it, I'll say, no, this is a fear. Like, I'm scared of this. I also tell people I'm scared. I told my wife I was scared of a lot of things. I still do. And it's a great way of, when you tell people you're scared of something, it brings it up out of shame, and it's from shame into fear, right? Shame is much heavier and deeper. It's the lowest vibration emotion. Okay, we do shadow work, a whole week of this shadow work in my Higher Self Foundational training, so feel free to sign up for that in October. So thank you for your question. There are I don't also have meditations on this as well. I'm sure you can find them yourselves. Okay. I've got time for one more. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay. Tess. Hello, Tess. Hi, Jon. Someone recommended you to me. Yay. Thank you, the person or being that did. Sometimes it's spirit guides that do. That's so cool. You really have resonated with myself and my husband. You come across extremely genuine and humble. Your energy field feels gentle and kind. That's a bit of praise for you as a new viewer. Woohoo! Thank you. There's more. And you might have noticed this is a practice for me, is I am learning to receive praise better and better each time. So that's why I do the woohoos and the thank yous, because in the past, I've not been so good. And if you can't celebrate praise that you receive, and you can't, or should I say the opposite, the more you celebrate the praise you receive and the more you genuinely allow it to saturate your body, the more you realize, what your superpowers are. That was something else I've been growing through, is like understanding that not everyone has the same abilities as me. We're all uniquely different, all equal and all uniquely different, which is beautiful. Anyway, your question is, in the 5D, so in the fifth dimension, will we all be able to be relocated to other areas of the world? I asked this, I really love living where I live on Hailing Island, and I don't want it to be flooded by the sea. I hear many areas will be engulfed by oceans. I hope you can reassure me. Thank you so much. Okay, so you asked the question broadly as well, which is really cool. So let me ask about this in general. So I'm going to ask Gaia, her perception, also Maya, my elemental spirit guide. So Gaia says, in many respects, the fifth dimensional Earth is, because it exists already, is unrecognizable in that it is far more dominated by nature. And she then says, and she's kind of going a little bit back on the word dominated and saying, in comparison to the third dimension, she said the level of harmony is a level of harmony with ourselves as we are part of nature, is far more harmony than we see right now. And she's saying, really feel into what you want in this world, because what we see in the third dimensional world is a stark fraction of nature's potential, Mother Nature's potential, and the harmony that we can achieve on this planet. So far more of us, being part of the orchestra of nature. Okay, and she's saying, yeah, in places, some sea levels do rise. It's not exclusive. She said in some areas it falls. She says there's a rebalancing. So this harmonizing is across everything. And so she says, for me, Jon, which is lovely, and I've seen this many, many, many times, that I don't even know how many, like somewhere in the region of 20 times, because I do it often in training courses, is I go and visit myself. When I visit myself in the third dimension, I've just realized I've still got these headphones on. I usually take them off. I have no reason to have these headphones on. I just hear myself. 58 minutes, Jon. When I go to my future, I see my streets, my homes, around me. You see, some of this nearby in my videos, with far more trees, far more plants. When we're able to take more to the skies in our vehicles, and as humans able to fly more, as humans, that we don't need so many roads, we don't need so many kind of heavy on the ground equipment and things, and more of us are more likely to enjoy living in trees, living in higher areas. If you can fly or kind of leap, float to different places, then the heaviness of being us, humanity, kind of draining down and being at the bottom of valleys and glens and flat levels is less of a challenge. And she says that what's interesting about the fifth dimensional ocean is it's not the same as the third dimensional ocean. So third dimensional ocean is much heavier. There's more of a plasma crystalline aspect to the fifth dimensional oceans and seas and rivers. And so there's also much more of this. She's describing it as a conversation. So you can go to, let's say you're going somewhere new, Tess, and you were saying, I would like to live here. If only, the tide and the storms wouldn't come up so close to my home. Could I have a home here? Is it safe to have a home right down at the ocean? And you'd have that conversation with the ocean. You'd have that conversation with Gaia, with the elementals. And this becomes much more of a conscious agreement between you. And perhaps you come with an offering. You'll say, if you can keep this land clear of flooding, then I would like to be the custodian of the fish in the area. I would like to, support the cultivation of what we'd call today fish stocks. In future, we'd call them, our fish families. And you would commune and attune with the nature there. So in this respect, it feels that we also have that gradual ability as we go between third and fifth, and that it's not just some horrific cataclysm that completely destroys the planet, and then we're just left with this, very barren but beautiful heaven on earth. There is a transition, and we all have a conscious say in this, which is so exciting, right? Because we're so used to my earlier video saying, Gaia says, because she's left with no choice right now. But in the future, it's we say, we are her children. We have a family meeting. We talk with each other. We don't just act and react against and upon each other. So that's really exciting. So thank you. So I'll bring us to an end. We're just over an hour. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been so much fun. We got through some amazing questions and such a beautiful diversity. I'd encourage you, I will check through questions, and for anyone that submitted a question that is more aligned with the live streams or one-to-one sessions, I will just be, so the personal ones in particular, I'll be removing these and I'll update my webpage to say, please only, submit ones that are for more than just you. If it's just you, then please ask in one of the Monday and Thursday live streams, not this Monday, but every other Monday and Thursday, or book a one-to-one session. And thank you so much, everyone. I'll bring a session to an end, thanking our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia, and Archangel Metatron. Yes, thank you. Please close the Akashic Records, close the Akashic Records, close the Akashic Records. And all of us, please remain in our individual protected bubbles for as long as we wish, as I close the session down and return to Source, or never return here again. Thank you so much, everyone. Get plenty of rest, drink plenty of water. And, I'm not gone yet, please visit jonbinnie.com. Please do book me in for sessions. I believe I still have, when I checked a day or so ago, still slots available in October. And please also check out Viviane Heller. You see her, if you resonate with her work, you see her on my live streams Mondays and Thursdays. And you've also been seeing some posts and often share work with one of my other students and practitioners, which is Chloe Rose. Mystic Hearts, please take a look at her content too. And please do book them in for sessions. They love to receive sessions if you resonate with them and their work. Each of them have incredible superpowers. And we heard a lot about fear today. One of Chloe's superpowers is breaking through fear cycles. And we also heard about pets and animals. That's some of Viviane's superpowers as well. So there's much more from both, but feel free to check them out. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Sending love. Oh, one more thing, because I love it when you leave me a little response. So if you've watched all the way 1 hour and 5 minutes, is today's phrase is, every day I ask my heart, how can I show you I love you more and more each day? Every day I ask my heart, how can I show you I love you more and more each day? Do a little dance, you say it more and more each day. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Sending love.